We've all gone through Christmas, and just before Christmas we had Thanksgiving, and when we had Thanksgiving we knew that that meant in the calendar that Christmas was not far away. If you backtrack on prophecy and you say these events are going to take place in the tribulation, and you can see signs of those events and judgments coming about in the tribulation, and we can see them now, and the rapture has not occurred, that would mean that the rapture has got to be even closer. What are the parallels? What are world events telling you right now about how close we are to the time of the rapture and then the tribulation?
First of all, the revelation of Christ, the return of Christ back to the earth would be Christmas. And the rapture of the church would be Thanksgiving. Now, we can see the signs for Christmas even before Christmas and leading up the many weeks and even months before Christmas. We saw all the Christmas lights, we heard the Christmas songs. Everything was giving us indication that Christmas was coming. Jesus Christ was asked in the Olivet Discourse, give us some signs of your second coming. Now, Matthew 24, when he responds to those questions from his disciples, is not talking about the rapture of the church. That was not in his mind at that time. He's talking about the second coming. He's talking about in Matthew 24, the Olivet Discourse, he's talking about deception, signs, wonders, and miracles. In Matthew 24, verses 4, 5, 11, and 24, he uses the word deception in all of those verses. 4 times he says deception, and the way of communicating deception through signs, wonders, and miracles, which we see a proliferation of today here on this earth, would be the first sign of how it's going to be before he returns. And then he talked about wars and rumors of wars, and nation against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and people against people. He said that would be happening before he comes back, and it is so evident in our world that wars and rumors of war. Look at the continent of Africa. It's almost aflame in war. You go into the Middle East. There in the Gaza Strip, Fatah and Hamas, the two factions of the Palestinians, they're killing each other. There's going to be, I believe, a civil war in Israel, Jew against Jew, because there's Jews living in the area of Judea and Samaria who the Israeli government want to evacuate out, and they say we're not coming out. You look at Afghanistan, you look at Iraq, you look at Iran, you look at all that's going on in our world, wars and rumors of wars. And then he talked about there would be famine. People would starve to death. He talked about there would be earthquakes in diverse places. He talked about those things that would happen. Basically, Matthew 24 is a preview of the book of Revelation. And what I've just given you a list of are those sealed judgments that happen after the rapture of the church. He finishes the Olivet Discourse with Matthew 24, verses 32 to 34. He says, learn the parable of a fig tree. That has nothing to do with the state of Israel. He's on the Mount of Olives, and there's a fig tree right beside him. It's in the springtime, and the leaves are starting to pop up on the limb. He said, learn the parable of a fig tree. You see the leaves on that limb there? That indicates that summer's almost here. So likewise, when you see all of these things, all of what things? What we just talked about. Wars and rumors of wars, deception, famine, earthquakes in divers places, people dying. When you see those things, know that it is near. What's near? Well, they'd ask him, when are you coming back? Not the rapture, when are you coming back? The second coming. He said, I say to you, this generation shall not pass away until these things are fulfilled and I return. Now, who was he talking about? Not the people he was talking to on the Mount of Olives. He's talking about the generation of people alive in this tribulation period. That generation of people, they will see these things happening. They will know his second coming is close. But wait a minute. The rapture's to happen before that. And we as Christians are standing outside of the tribulation period before the rapture of the church, but we're seeing some of those things happening. I suggest that which will give evidence of the return of Jesus Christ, we can see the stage being set for those events to happen. And I would suggest we're living in that generation that'll see the rapture of the church. And from the heavenlies, we see the tribulation unfold and we return back to the earth with Jesus Christ.